This collective is learning a lesson about giving and a lesson about opening your heart specifically. I feel this energy of giving freely from the heart, but then tightening up and constricting in fear. And this fear is rooted in a fear of abandonment. It's rooted in the times earlier in your life when you gave freely from your heart, but you felt shut down or rejected or orphaned. We have the orphaned card here, which came out in reverse. So this is about wanting to avoid that feeling, wanting to avoid feeling left out, feeling cast aside. And because of that, you're denying yourself opportunities and experiences for deeper intimacy, whether that's platonic or romantic intimacy. So there's a fear of getting close to people. And again, I'm getting the stop, start energy with you. So it's something that you are working on and making moves toward overcoming, but you do go into these moments of contraction and fear, especially after you feel like you have really shared something or really given a piece of yourself that maybe made you feel vulnerable or just made you feel very open. One of the reasons that you've had such a hard time sharing your heart is because part of what comes with your heart is this depth. There's this depth of knowing, seeing deeply into the world, seeing deeply into patterns, seeing deeply into other people that triggers them, that scares them. And we also have the chaos and conflict card, which came out in the reverse, which to me, again, is like this avoidant energy. I want to avoid the chaos. I want to avoid the conflict that I know my depth has caused in the past, that I know my open heart has caused in the past. And so I get this sense of like this heart that just wants to give freely, abundantly, but then there's this other part in your unconscious that's like, reel it in. Okay, nope, stop. This is the cutoff point, or you can only share this much, or you can only share like that. There's a part of your unconscious that is constantly editing what it is that you share or how open it is that you are. I just had to pause the video and I saw 222 as I went to hit play again. So if that's a message for anybody, but I feel a lot of fear in this collective. I'm also seeing the energy of the crown. So, we are being given these intuitive hits. We are being divinely guided at this time. And that comes with a lot of fear because it leaves your heart feeling open and vulnerable. You're no longer navigating the world from the mind where it feels safe, because in the mind is that part that likes to edit you and resist or avoid the chaos and conflict that you might experience. But when you move from the crown, the editing part doesn't get a say, right? If you purely listen to the divinity and what it's telling you to do, then the editing part starts to freak out because it feels like it's losing control. This feels very related to, upcoming right now. We have the Virgo eclipse on March 3rd, although this is a timeless message, but this is very related to Virgo energy. It's like this part that wants to control, that wants to edit, that wants to perfect and refine you, right? It doesn't want to allow the natural chaos and conflict that comes with being an open-hearted person in this world. It doesn't want to allow that because it's fearful of that. I think that this part of your mind, in addition to editing and refining and trying to perfect the way that you present yourself, this part of your mind is also catastrophizing, and it's also doubting. It's creating a lot of excuses for why you can't do certain things. And if you take them at surface level, you will believe them. But if you start to realize that this is your mind's way of trying to protect your heart, then you can look a little bit deeper and see what actually is in your heart space. Maybe someone who's encountered a lot of people who have been mean to you, just mean. I heard the word mean, just mean-spirited people. And I feel this part of your unconscious, the open-hearted part that's just like, why? Why are you being so mean? It's this very innocent part of you that doesn't understand the meanness in the world that you've encountered or why you've had to experience it. But what is important for you to know is that this is a very gifted part of you. So the deep knowing that this part of you holds, it gets even stronger when you unblock your heart, when you free your heart, freely express yourself and what's in your heart. If you're looking for ways to connect more with your intuition, to deepen your intuition, to understand the messages that are coming to you more clearly, working with this part is the way, because this part, it's connected to your mind and it is blocking a lot of your intuitive senses and faculties. It's watering them down is a better way to say it. I also feel like this part of you has a lot of imposter syndrome. I'm seeing Lainey Boggs from She's All That. And you know, she was like, who, me? Me? Why do you want me? Obviously it was for a bet, but that's not the point. The reason I'm seeing her is because she represents this who, me, why, me energy. And it's also representative of your potential, right? If we take the superficiality of She's All That out of it and just look at it metaphorically or energetically, symbolically, then what we're seeing is a person who maybe is shies away from the spotlight, hides, doesn't think that they have a lot to offer the public, but has their own rich inner life, okay? And then they get selected to be more visible, right? To be more seen. And they're like, why would you want to see me? Why would you want to put me on a platform of some kind? And so this is the part of you that you're dealing with right now. It's like doubting what it even has to offer because you had so many earlier childhood experiences of offering your heart freely and it being shut down and rejected. So that has created a mental pattern of no one wants what I have, basically. No one wants to see what I have to offer. And that's what you're contesting with. That's what you're fighting with right now. I feel also that you are afraid of your own power with this deep knowing card. You are afraid of how much you know. And it's a reflection of the fears that you encounter in other people, but it's developed into your own fear. And so it's just created this negative feedback loop for you of danger, of fear, of trusting your inner feminine wisdom, right? Trusting what you can't see, trusting what you feel, trusting the information that comes to you in ways that aren't deemed logical, right? Trusting that information, which you have a wealth of, but it's the trusting it that's the hard part, because there is a fear associated with you living from that energy. And we've talked about this before, and I'll probably say it every reading, but they're really emphasizing how ritual and magic and your intuition and meditation, being connected in that way, is the way through. This card says birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. And I just feel like I see this woman alone with her arms raised up to the sky, the stars around her in this vortex, this like rock vortex. And it feels like she is just fully divinely led and connected. She's surrendering it all, and she's just letting the light within guide her. And how this is the way to create a new world or a new age that we haven't seen before. It's going to take a lot of faith and trust because, again, we have the world that we know, and we have the tangible, logical facts of the world that we know, but we don't have an example of where we're going or what we're building. We don't have that tangible example. So we have to move fully from faith and surrender at this point. If you are on the forefront of creating this new world that we're building, that's how you have to get comfortable moving and living. And we also have the Great Gathering, which is saying you're not going to have to do this alone forever. You're not going to have to do this alone forever. It's all coming together. Intuitive Hits, Soul Tribe. So this being divinely led is leading you to your people. Opening your heart is leading you to your people. There will likely be some experiences along the way where you feel orphaned again, or you feel like you're thrown into chaos and conflict again, but those experiences are happening. Everything is happening to crack your heart more open, as we have here with the ever unfolding rose. It's all happening to open your heart even more, to give you a sense of safety living in your heart that you have never had before. And in order to get that safety, you do have to go through the discomfort. You do have to go through the fear and the feelings of the lack of safety that you've accumulated since childhood over the years or even lifetimes. An important message for this collective is if you feel like there's some sort of rush to put yourself out there or be seen or accumulate success, it's to let go of that feeling that you need to rush. You're going through a process. You're going through a process that has been specifically designed for you and for the rate at which you're ready to grow. And so you're learning how to be seen step by step that you take on this journey. So you're not running out of time and you're not behind. As always, you're exactly where you need to be. And that's because of the stretching that has to take place with your heart, with your capacity to feel emotional safety within yourself. That's what's determining the rate of growth for you, not your capability, not your intelligence, but your capacity to stretch. And after you stretch, there has to be a time period of contraction. It is birth. It is literally birthing a new age. That's why you might be going through this stop-start as well. Something else you're learning now about your heart is for a very long time, you substituted love, you substituted achievement for love. And so you wanted to be the best, you wanted to be first, you wanted to be successful, you wanted to be number one, because you felt like that validation would give you love. I think also, you may be someone who's putting your relationships on the back burner because you were so hell-bent on achieving success. And so what this journey is teaching you is that there is no substitute for love, for true love, for divine love. There's no substitute for that. Every time you try to look for it outside of yourself through validation, you're going to get redirected, get rerouted eventually. You might have success for a little while, but eventually your guides, your spirit team, the rug will be pulled out from under you so that you can face that part of you that was searching for love outside of yourself. They're showing me that your coping mechanism for your early heart rejection in life, your coping mechanism for this was to attach to success and achievement as validation in exchange as a substitution for love. And then they're showing me Wednesday Addams. So that's what went into the spot that craves divine love, is this kind of pessimistic, I don't need love, avoidant almost kind of energy. Your spirit team's wanting you to look at these coping mechanisms, to be real with yourself about what's actually going on inside of you, and to begin reprioritizing where you put your energy, where you put your focus. This is a shifting in values. Ultimately, through attaching to success, you're trying to prove that you're worthy and valuable. What your soul actually wants in this case is divine love, unconditional love, which is already inside of you, as we know. And so every time that you feel attached to the progress that you're making in the external, the success that you have, that's a good opportunity to come back and sit with yourself, sit with your heart, and allow yourself to access the love that is already inside of you. To finish off the message, we have the Imagine card. So I really feel like this is your spirit team saying it is safe to imagine. It is safe to be whimsical. It is safe to dream. That's the journey you're on. You're on this journey of creating this sense of emotional safety, living in this new energy. If you're one of those leaders who is on the forefront of building this new world, then consider joining us in Rebirth, the membership. I have set out to create this community of conscious leaders, of people who are heart-led, so that we can come together and share experiences, share magic, and just not be alone on this wild path that we're all on. In the membership, I offer monthly candle workings like money drawing or road openers or protection, and then we also do a monthly workshop. Our next workshop is a lunar eclipse in Virgo ceremony, which will be on March 3rd. So hop in the membership and I'll see you there.